This video is about 2 days too late, but yeah, I'm finally explaining the whole situation, what's been going on. Hey guys, it's Tali with a new video, and a lot of you probably may have noticed, or at least partly may have noticed, what the hell has been going on in my Discord server and with my Discord server. Basically, it's gone, and I have a new one now, so I'm definitely putting the link to the new one into the YouTube description and all descriptions and new ones from now on, so you can rejoin that one. Like, my Discord definitely isn't gone, it's just the old server that was gone. For a very annoying reason. No other way around it than just telling it how it was from the start. So basically, I haven't been using Discord for this long. I only got it a few months ago for the first time to join some other servers of other creators, and at one point people suggested that I make my own one, and I thought it was a good idea, so I went along with it. But once again, I knew nothing about Discord at all. But I barely knew how everything worked in another server rather than making my own. So this guy called Moonin, or the Great Demon Moonin, which is his username on Discord usually, he offered to make my Discord server for me. I was, of course, super grateful for that, because once again I had no idea how the hell any of that worked. So yeah, he set everything up for me and showed me how to create the chats and everything. But because I knew nothing about Discord, I also had no idea there was a difference between being server host and actual server owner. And since he was the creator of that server, he was the server owner. And he just blatantly took advantage of the fact that I didn't know about that, because I simply couldn't have known, and never told me. So all this time I had no idea somebody else owned my server, which it definitely was mine. It was created for me and my YouTube channel and everything. It's like this whole time he had the full control over the server and I didn't even know. Like, he was an admin in the server, but of course that usually meant still less power than me in my own server. And he just never bothered to tell me about it. But yeah, anyway, at first things actually went pretty well. He helped fix things and set the bots up and everything. He knew how all of that worked. And of course moderating the chats whenever somebody went out of line or whatever. But over time he became super condescending towards other server members and acted in a really childish way many times. It was more than one time that he got into a fight with another server member and just left the server, even though he's an admin and should be above stuff like that and stick around. And whenever he did that, he transferred the ownership over the server to his alternate account, which I only found out later. There was another argument recently with another server member which caused him to leave, and this time we knew he was still around with his alternate account, because he said he'd stick around to fix things, but he wouldn't be as active on the server anymore, and he'd still operate the bots and everything. However, we could know this. He did stuff behind our backs. He kept installing new things without asking me about it or even telling me about it, and kept leaving cryptic messages with one of the bots in the chats, because there was another chat he used that we had no access to. So yeah, not something an admin of a server should be doing, especially not if it technically wasn't even their server. It was literally just his server because he created it, and at the time I just simply didn't know. But yeah, I had enough of all his cryptic, the way he was acting, and confronted him about it and asked him politely to please give the server ownership up to me, because after all, he was the one who decided to leave the server. And it's just not a very responsible thing to do for somebody who's admin of a server, and to constantly get into fights with other people and then basically throw a temper tantrum and just leave. Anyway, he outright refused and told me I didn't deserve my own server, basically didn't deserve ownership over it because I wasn't obeying my own rules. Basically, like, I only have some ground rules in my server that are like, be respectful of other people and stuff like that. Like, it's nothing serious. At the end of the day, this is a fun little thing on the internet. It's not a freaking government, which is how he always treated it, and that's what I told him. But yeah, no matter if you kept being polite to him or you just got frustrated with him over time, he just refused to respond to anything after a while. So yeah, I talked to some other people, because this really was a very shitty situation to be in, because basically if we got pissed at another server member again, especially if it was another admin or even me, he alone had the power to just delete the entire thing, and I would not have been able to stop him. And that was just not something I felt very comfortable with, for somebody else to have that kind of power over my own server. I talked to other people about it, and I tried to somehow find a solution with the other server members, but we just couldn't get to a solution. We also contacted Discord support about it, but they said they couldn't do anything about issues like these, and they like to stay out of it, which sucked. But yeah, I get it. Like, many people suggested to me to just create a new one, and I was so hesitant about it. For one, this meant he had won. Like, I had to create a new server because I couldn't get this one back from him, which had to have been like ultimate satisfaction for him. And second, getting back all the people and members of that server is not a very easy thing to do. And also all the chat histories and I had to give all of that up. And even though I haven't had it for that long yet, I really made some really nice memories in that server. So yeah, I was very hesitant about that at first. But yeah, we made a group called Hostage Negotiation Squad, because basically my server was being held hostage, literally, by some guy who simply refused to give me the power over my own server. But yeah, no matter what we did, we didn't manage to come up with another solution that worked, because at the end of the day, he was the one who was being a child about it and refused to give me the power over my own server. So yeah, we did create a new server on the site. We copied all the chats from the old one. One of the admins on my server also already learned how to operate most of the bots, so we set that up and everything. Then basically we told people about the new server so they could join, and they all just mass deserted the old one, which was pretty damn hilarious at the end of the day. We kept that under complete wraps. He didn't know anything about it, and then all of a sudden people just kept leaving and joining my new server, so that was pretty fucking hilarious. Like, then people started making memes about it, and it was just glorious. So yeah, even though I had to give up that old server, that was totally worth it at the end of the day. Because basically the entire server just trolled the hell out of him, because actually nobody really liked him in there. He was always mean to the other members of the server, and like people who are just my subscribers and like being there and everything. Yeah, that was also the argument the other people gave me, because the server isn't really a physical thing. The Totally server is where I am, where my subscribers are, and I know you guys are, for the majority of you, are definitely going to rejoin it. So yeah, that's ultimately what made me decide to start anew, and I haven't regretted it so far. So yeah, that's basically the whole situation. Other servers have also been informed about this, like the Ruby Amino server. Some of you may also be in that one. We've spread his name around so people can be wary of him, and he can't pull the same shit with anyone else, because seriously, that is not a situation I wish upon anyone. It's such a frustrating situation to be in, because you can't do anything about it because he's the only one in power. And once again, don't go after him or anything. I think he has definitely gotten what he deserves out of this, and that is nobody sticking around in his server, because it's definitely his server now, because I have my own. And yeah, what did he get out of it? Nothing, because there are no more people left in it. So yeah, that was the whole situation explained basically. I really hope most of you are going to see this and rejoin the server again. I would really love to have you all back in there, because you know, Volume 5 is coming up and the Ruby theories are going to be going crazy soon enough. As I already said at the beginning, I'm putting the server link to the new server into the YouTube description, and I'll delete the old ones since they are not really valid anymore. So yeah, I really hope I'll see you in there again, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye!